Hey everybody, welcome to the Semi-Perfect Podcast. It is Wednesday, my dudes, September 19th, 2018. I do not know what episode in particular this one is, but it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
You'll let us know post-production.
Yeah.
My name is Saberspark. Joining me tonight is Toodles.
Hello.
Laura, my girlfriend, who's over there on that side of the kitchen making me some drinks and dessert. It's amazing.
Nice.
Hi.
And then we got Paleo.
Hello.
And then we got ACRacebest, but he's currently watching an episode, so he can comment on it later.
Yes, he was a very bad boy, and he did not watch it during his lunch break. Which makes me
bad boys.
sad.
He should have watched it on the weekend.
Yeah, I know.
Shoulda, woulda, couldas, but that's pretty rich coming from a guy, me, who hasn't finished his Bernie's React yet. So don't let him know yet.
All right. So.
Yeah, you watched the entire season so far.
Do we want to do food posts right now, or do we want to have y'all talk about?
Save it for Race,
Okay.
because Race is he lives for that stuff.
Okay. So y'all.
Yeah, let's just talk about let's just talk about how we're doing and how our weeks have been. Sarah, how have you been?
Good. I'm going to go visit Texas tomorrow. Getting on a plane, and I'll be gone for about a week visiting family in Texas. So that'll be nice. I've had a cold because I got it from Race. He went to Indiana last week, and it was raining throughout the weekend there, and he got a cold, and then he passed it on to me, and of course I got it 5 times worse than he ever, had it. So I'm just now starting to get over it, but I probably still sound a little stuffed up.
You sound fine to me.
Well, good.
But that sucks regardless. Thanks, Race, for making life even harder for folks.
Yeah.
I wish he was here to hear me berate him. Paley, how are you?
All right. Yeah, this morning I had to go to the hospital because my mom I had some heart problems.
Oh, no.
How's she holding up?
I went to go see her, and she's staying overnight at the moment. Doing some stress tests, observing her in the heart center. But she should be fine. We're just trying to figure out because last year around the same time she was also in the hospital, but she had a stent put in her heart. So I'm not sure if there's some issue with that or what. But one thing I do know is that my mom does need to quit smoking. Both my parents need to quit smoking. I really wish they would.
Well, here's wishing them the best, that they can make the necessary changes so they can live a long, healthy life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I eat ice cream and cardboard. Literally in my mouth right now. I'm like, oh, a nice long life. Nom, nom, nom.
Yeah, because that was the reason that she had problems last year when she went to the hospital. So.
Well, yeah, keep us posted. Sending her good thoughts and vibes, and Laura's computer's being loud. Laura, how are you?
I'm okay.
How's your week been?
Anything happened at all this week?
Yeah,
My mom sent me a care package with a bunch of fun stuff in it. She does that from time to time. When we went to go up to New Jersey for my sister's wedding, actually, we went to this ceramics place that my mom likes to go to paint pottery and stuff. And she sent the things that we made, and I made a cool bowl, and Steven made a mug that has Lammy's paw print on it, and it says Lammy, and it's really cute.
I love it so much.
Yeah.
Oh, Sarah, did I tell you about the dream I had where there was a mini Lammy and Pro Jared had it?
What?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It was weird because I was watching an episode of Madness from Normal Boots, and I went to Pro Jared's house, and he had a dog that looked like a mini version of Lammy, like a Lammy with short legs, a long leg.
That's great. Short leg lamb. Sorry, I was grabbing a blanket for Amy, speak of the devil, so I can sit down next to us. All right, well, I saw you went to the museum today. Sarah, how was that?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, I'm at called me up out of the blue at like 11, and he was like, "Hey, so I'm down here, and I was supposed to be in court, but that didn't work out, so I'm stuck here till like 3. Do you want to come down and join me at the Natural History Museum?" I was like, yes, because I'm a sucker for natural history and science museums, and I hadn't been for a very long time, so it was fun. We both enjoyed it. It was weird because like they have like a big wing that is dedicated to birds, but like one of the sections in particular, it has like a bunch of, you know, dioramas of the birds and stuff, like as if you were actually walking through the woods and like all that stuff, and it's really neat. But the downside is that it's so fucking dark that you can barely see any of the birds, and I'm like, huh, okay. And I'm like looking at the signs, and you know, and it's like, oh, can you see this bird? And I'm like, no, I can't. It's so dark in here. I don't know. It was weird, but the rest was fine. It was fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow, Dana in the chat said wing dedicated to birds. Pun intended.
Yeah, right.
Or not.
I was gonna ask that. No.
Yeah.
Paleo, you've been keeping up with the Nintendo Directs have been releasing in like the news.
Oh yeah.
I know you mentioned that you got Nintendo Online. Tell us about that.
Oh, yeah, I haven't really used the online functionality at all. Like I'll use I'll pay for the online when I need it, but there's nothing like multiplayer that I play that often. But for they had like the NES like online thing, which is interesting because I saw a lot of people talking about it earlier this week, and how like apparently they made it so true to the original NES that if you play it on handheld on your Switch, you'll get screen burn in.
Oh my god.
with the CRT filter, apparently, which that's something they need to fix.
Oh, wow. That's embarrassing.
It is.
Well, what do you think about the PlayStation Classic?
Oh yeah. I was gonna mention that on the podcast. Yeah,
So
that was announced like last night. I was looking at it when I was in bed, and I was like, "Whoa, interesting."
What games did they announce for it?
It's what?
What games did they announce for it?
Only 5 so far, which is weird because like
that's abysmal.
That's dumb.
yeah when they, because it's going to be 20. It's going to be 20 games, but they only confirmed 5, which is weird because when the NES Classic and the Super Nintendo Classic were announced, they like, you know, put out the full list. Like, what are you waiting for?
Yeah.
And this is supposed to come out in December.
Weird.
Like, I mean, I hope it's like going to be a really good list, because like so far it's like Tekken 3, Wild Arms, Final Fantasy 7, Ridge Racer 4, I think.
You know what would be a really good power move though? Is if Microsoft released the Xbox One Classic right now.
You know what? Somebody said, you know what? Microsoft should release the Xbox original Classic, but make it bigger, and release it with the original Duke controller.
The Shaquille O'Neal controller. Yeah. No, it's interesting.
It's weird that I'm confused by it because like it's 20 games, but I can think of like way more than 20 games for the PS1. Like I can.
Well, PS2 the largest library. Like I mean, I know they're not the same console, but like if they did the PS2 Classic, which I don't know if that's possible or not.
Yeah.
That doesn't the PS2 have the largest library of games ever?
It has one of the largest. But the PS1, like it has a ton of like good games on it. Okay, yeah. Here's the other one I couldn't think of was Jumping Flash. That was a very early PS1 game. But for the weird things about it is like it's 20 games, which I was expecting them to do 30 since the NES Classic had 30. Though the Super Nintendo one only has like 20. But another thing is they're releasing it with the original controller design, which didn't have the dual analog sticks. So it's like, oh, that's going to narrow down the library a bit because there are some games that just will not work without those dual analogs.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
Sounds dumb.
Well, I
And also no AC adapter included,
What?
and it's $100.
What?
okay, yeah, they
What's
5
What
games.
can it do?
5 games. I don't know. I've been playing with my my SNES Classic, and I'm stuck on a level in Donkey Kong and it pisses me off because like for me it's like jumping in that game is hard, and there are points where it's like, oh my god, like this ledge is like literally the maximum length I can jump. Like it needs that, and I die all the time, and it's not me.
What was I thinking?
I guess he's back.
What were they thinking?
All right,
There goes my neighborhood.
Dangerous.
sit down.
What the heck?
Don't spoil anything.
I'm sorry, but that
I want to help you in Donkey Kong.
was insane.
Hirosashii
Yeah.
and ACRacebest joined the fight.
Yeah.
In the same room? What is this?
Scoot.
Okay.
Scootaloo. That's funny. That's funny. Hello. Sorry, I apologize. A combination of things. My brain is mush because I am currently finishing up a massive project at work, which required me working overtime today, and I'm looking at like an even longer day tomorrow. So
You're like literally in the same boat as me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Overtime boys, let's go.
yeah, I'm like planning on going to work at like 6 a.m. tomorrow, and who knows when I'll get out.
Yeah. So we saved food posts for when you got here.
You all are
we've all
the
been talking
best.
about our weeks
Love-
and stuff. So.
Oh man. Oh
Okay.
man.
So, to start off food posts, we've got Nora Mermaid. After not eating or drinking anything since last night, it's time to break my fast with water and Oreos.
That is nutritious. Very good. Rosie Diamond. Oh, is that the right one?
Yes.
Says a little early, but fresh out of the pan. I have zoodles with ground turkey and peppers tossed with pesto sauce.
What are zoodles?
Peppers tossed with pesto sauce.
Laura says there's zucchini noodles.
Oh, interesting.
Here we go. Anime Guy is breaking the fast with bagels and cream cheese with Diet Coke.
Nice. Oh. Wait, what's in the background there?
Unstable unicorns.
Unstable unicorns box or something like that.
Yes.
They're gonna blow up.
You know, when I was in middle school, there's a little like breakfast period between like the first 2 periods and the rest of the day,
Brunch.
and brunch, I guess. But it was like really shitty cafeteria food, and being the kid that I was, who had a massive appetite, I was always about getting bagels and cream cheese. But there'd be occasional days where the cream cheese is gone or it's just too expensive. But they had sour cream.
Oh.
And I'm like, that's an acceptable substitute.
No.
It both looks white and it both says cream.
God.
A horrible standard.
And I put sour cream on my bagels. I'm like, it's delicious. But in hindsight, I'm like, that was gross, man.
Saber, did you have like breakfast pizza at your school? Because my
No.
school had breakfast pizza, and like it
I had
was
breakfast
so much better than the regular pizza at lunch.
What the lunchtime pizza, the little rectangles that taste
Yeah,
really
the
bad?
lunchtime pizza was like crap, but then the breakfast
Poverty
pizza was like,
pizza.
oh, this is hot and fresh and good.
I remember like on Fridays, my school would do Papa John Fridays, where the cafeteria ordered pizza, and that's all there was. And I remember being like, this sucks. Like, I don't want pizza. I want variety.
No, those were the best days. You see, at my school, there was nothing more toxic that you could get near your body than the cafeteria pizza. Like that square pizza that was like, yeah,
it's the rectangles.
we cooked this last week. And it's like,
And like there's like 4 pieces of cheese on it.
yeah, and it's cold and oh,
Gross.
Yeah, I had a
Cheese
flashback.
doesn't even look like cooked at all. It's awful.
Me and my like, because I went to a Christian high school, so it was pretty small. And I remember
Where they
like
actually feed
rolling into
people.
the cafeteria line and being like, because it'd be the end of lunch hours, and me and lunch ladies had a very interesting relationship where I'd beg for food and they'd tell me to go away. And the occasional like, I'd be like, "So, ladies, how's it going? You know, got 10 minutes left here in lunch. Anything you're gonna throw away?" And then like other kids caught on and started begging as well. And I'm like, "No, this is my turf. I want the crusty French fries."
Did your school ever have the what are they called? Like the mozzarella sticks? Did they ever bring those in?
Yeah, they went fast though.
Yeah, they do go fast. I like.
Oh
there's
yeah, that's
something
right.
Weird in that like they're not delectable by any means. Like they're still garbage, but like they were like good garbage, like addicting garbage.
It was,
I don't
it
know.
was better than the stuff that was usually there.
Yes, it was.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever they had like the mozzarella stick day, I was like, oh boy, gotta rush down to the cafeteria to get those little babies.
I remember like okay, here's a question. I'm not gonna having flashbacks to school now. Would you all rush to get in line to get your food, or are you just kind of like, fuck it, I'll just get in line whenever?
It depends if there are mozzarella sticks or not.
Okay, it's true. It's true.
To me, it
I remember
depends.
like talking in line because we didn't actually post the food until you get into the actual like cafeteria. And I'm talking about when you're in line getting your food, and we wouldn't know.
Yeah.
And you have to like pass it up the line, and be like, "Hey, what's up there?" And they'd be like, "Oh, it's just pizza squares." And it's like, "Ah, fuck." And
Yeah, I'm just looking at the Google images for like elementary school pizza, and I'm like, oh
Don't look
man,
at
I'm
it.
so
It's
glad
so
I don't have to
gross.
eat that anymore.
Flashbacks
our
galore.
government made ketchup and tomato sauce count as a vegetable, and it's like,
God bless.
All right, we've got
our government
Reckless.
stuff.
Got more popcorn and Pepsi. This is becoming pretty standard for me.
We're
Nothing
not
wrong with that.
done with this for sure. There's too much of a topic here. But Quiet Storm says 3 Hot Pockets, 1 ham and cheese, 2 Philly cheese. Get it, Philly?
By the way, Laura wanted me to pass along that she made blueberry cobbler.
Ooh, damn,
So that's
Jeez.
that sounds good.
High level.
What have you done to deserve this, Saber?
Oh, nothing.
What have you done?
Absolutely nothing.
Was that it? Was that the
I
last
was
one?
just as surprised as you were.
Yeah, it seems like we're a little.
I
Yeah,
made
we
it for
didn't
me.
have a lot of food
Oh.
posts
I'll
this
do
time
it
around.
for you, mother. I'll
So-
do it for me.
So the
I made it for you, and I made it for me.
yeah,
Did Andy
the
Dick voice that line?
who says that?
The lazy, the little like scraggly line that was
Nuka?
Kovu's brother.
Nuka.
Yeah.
No, Nuka.
I like how like the mom didn't care about him until he was dead, and then she's like, "Oh, my precious baby," and it's like, full of shit, lady.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah.
Alright. So that's food posts.
All right, we did it.
We talked about our weeks. Do you want to? Was there anything else you wanted to talk about as far as
My week?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What?
I've been busy, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This, like today, literally today, might have actually been the most busy I've ever been at work, literally since I've started.
Oh,
It
this
was
is yeah,
Nuts today.
yeah. This is my busiest ever moments of my career right now. And on top of that, during my free time at home, I am working on.
I don't know if we're recording right now.
Are we?
It's so subtle in the way that it's not pulsing like it was last time.
Click it.
Okay. Motherfucker.
It'll be on YouTube. Though,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
download it.
Well, it'll be logged
Okay.
like a big. So
I pressed it, but I must have accidentally doubled.
It's okay. I don't blame you.
Yeah.
You just. But yeah, no. I was gonna say, on top of being so busy at work, all my free time at home is basically going to or towards editing the Bronies React to the My Little Pony movie. So yeah, it's been it's just so much stuff happening at once.
Yeah.
But it's
You
all.
should pay an editor.
Are you
Volunteer.
volunteering, Hero?
I can't edit my way out of a paper bag. No.
Sarah, what are you doing?
I'm visiting family.
Okay. Nah, it's but yeah, I mean it's been good. Like I said, my brain's mush, so I can't even remember like what happened last week. Oh, 2 weeks ago I went to Indianapolis.
Yeah.
That sucked, kind of, because it rained literally the entire time, and I was going to cover an event, but it got rained out completely.
Wow, that sucks.
Yeah.
Everything does suck. I guess you're rolling the dice when it comes to NASCAR.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. It was a figure 8 asphalt race, and it was luckily, like, we got the whole show in, and it actually ended up being very successful of a deal. It's just it sucked that I couldn't be there in person to help.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Speaking of cars, this car that just passed me is flipping gorgeous. Oh my goodness.
Girl, look at
Corvettes
those
look really
curves
nice.
on that car.
Yeah, Corvettes look really nice. I like them a lot.
What's your car, Sarah?
Toyota Corolla.
No, I mean,
That's
your dream
wasn't
car.
paying attention to this conversation that was going on.
Sarah's
The
like,
answer is the same.
my dream car is a 2006
a T-Bird.
Corolla that's missing 2 hubcaps.
No, a T-Bird is my dream car.
All right. Well, I know we got a lot of topics that are kind of on the lineup. What do we want to talk about first? Do you want to go over the episodes?
Yeah, should we go over the My Little Pony episodes first?
Yes.
Sure.
So, a reminder for anyone that's that doesn't want spoilers, we're going to put up a spoiler tag. Once that comes down, that is your cue that you can come in safely and avoid any spoilers. We'll be discussing the last 2 episodes that aired on television. We're not going off of any like weird internet airings or anything.
Yeah.
They are by TV release specifically, which means, Sarah, the washouts.
Take that, Australia.
Take that, you stupid upside down
The
people.
washouts and a rock hoof and a hard place.
Yes, so those will be the 2 episodes we'll be
I
discussing.
know that Laura's excited about the second one.
All right.
Alright, first up is the washouts. In this episode, Scootaloo becomes enamored with the washouts, a touring group of stunt ponies, and Rainbow Dash is concerned for her safety and worries that Scootaloo's days as her number 1 fan are over.
Yeah, Rainbow Dash episode. All right, rock in a hard place.
Wow, how dare. So yeah.
this
I
one's fresh
liked
in your
it.
mind because you just watched it.
This is the one I just watched.
Yeah.
And there was a moment in this where I was just like, what? And it's when like 5-year-old Scootaloo's like, well, I want to do this dangerous death thing.
Yeah.
To which
I'm an adult. I can make my own choices.
To which Twilight
You're my real
Sparkle.
mom.
Yeah, Twilight
Sparkle goes, okay, I mean, you know, she's gotta learn on her own.
Yeah, she's gotta make choices.
I want to run across the freeway, Mom. Okay, just,
All right, you do.
I guess you
This-
figured it out.
the one time that Rainbow Dash is reasonable.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
It's-
yeah.
I'm like,
Maybe actually the one time, yeah.
that's my girl.
Yeah, you have to be a special
Rainbow
kind of
Dash.
like dumb shit to like make Rainbow Dash look good.
Are you saying
Remember that's
Scootaloo is a
notorious-
dumb shit?
The worst characters in animation.
Wow.
It was interesting that they decided in this episode to let Scootaloo just like unleash the beast and say like I can't fly. I was like, oh wow, we said it. It was said.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting it.
I was.
To be-
She should have been like, I can't fly, and my parents are dead, and you love this and this and that.
Well, they
Just
said
like-
she can't fly in the
Sleepless in
talent
Ponyville.
show. Is that the same one?
The talk show.
No, the
No, talent. No, it was the.
Hearts as Strong as Horses or whatever.
That's the one. Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Did they say it there? Really?
Yeah, I think
Oh.
they alluded
I don't
to
remember
it,
that.
but like this was the
Like,
first time that like it was brought up like full front like by Scootaloo
Right.
like in such a manner. I don't know, like it's weird because like I'm like, oh, interesting, like that's like a bit of depth to her character. But then at the same
It's-
time, I feel like it should have had its own like episode. I feel like it deserves
Episode,
that. Yeah.
This is kind
I mean,
of
It's
weird.
weird because like
They
they're
did
not
say
like
it.
they're not like big ponies, but like you can tell that they're supposed to be like growing up,
Yeah.
you know, like in age. So maybe they're hitting that a little bit of that rebellious phase, and that's totally normal for like someone of growing age to hit. So I thought this episode, although like flanderized a little bit, I thought it added like an essence of believability to it, and
Yeah.
like, and to showcase that Rainbow Dash like actually cares about Scootaloo as if she was family. I thought it was a nice episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also want to point out something that I forgot.
What?
No, I just forgot. I don't know what I was gonna point out.
Oh, okay.
But it was good. No, wait.
Cool.
Lightning
Okay.
dust.
Does anyone feel? We'll get back to
Okay.
her. Does anyone feel like a lot of the episodes lately have been like hitting close to home, kind of fandom wise? Like here's this brony who's like, you know what? I'm going to go have other interests. To which all of us other bronies are like, no. I'm joking,
Okay.
but like I kind of felt like there's a hint of that. If anything, it'd be the VAs being like, no, you can't leave the fandom. We need your money. But yeah, it was just like that whole. I don't know. For me, I'm someone who tends to stick with stuff for a very long time, and be very like loyal to it. Obviously MLP being one of them, and I always am like, oh no, when sometimes I'll like, if there's say somebody who's like, oh, I've kind of lost interest with it, I still have that oh no kind of feeling, and I'm totally like Rainbow Dash, where I'm like, yeah, but remember how fun this was and this. So I'm still working on getting the Living Tombstone back, guys.
Wow, that is a 6-year-long lost cause.
We're getting him to BronyCon.
But yeah, lightning dust. She popped back up after a very long time of not being around. There was a glimmering piece of hope that I had when she was first introduced, where like, oh, they might actually be like making her a cool person now, like,
Nope.
you know, but nope.
Well, no,
Nope.
they certainly did not do anything like that. No.
Oh man. But yeah,
That was a
I
really
like the
long
voice of
rope.
Brony with the anger problems.
Yeah, Josh Forger's phone.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're like,
I
hey,
like the
let's
tall
kill
pony.
children.
She's great.
I'm rolling thunder.
Why
I'm
did
She's great.
Australian.
Oh yeah,
She winked at another girl pony and she
and
fanned it.
yeah, that
Nice.
happened.
Nice.
wait? That was Lightning
It's
Dust did that?
confirmed.
No, was it the Rolling Thunder character?
Yeah,
Yes.
what's a really cool name for a
The Australian. Yeah.
That's like a
Was
video
that a guy
game.
or a girl?
That was a girl.
Girl.
the girl?
That was a girl. The Australia was a girl.
Yes. It was
No,
a girl.
I just watched this episode. You are
They
all
were a
wrong.
girl.
Nope, you're wrong.
Wait,
You're
the
absolutely wrong.
the little red like.
No, the purple pony.
Yeah, you
tall
guys,
one.
With the fluffy hair.
you
I know
guys
it's called
are
short-
crazy. Why didn't the little red pony yell about having broccoli on pizza? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
First the Hawaiians, and
You're
now
right.
you.
I actually kind of liked him as a character. I was like, he's all right in my book.
Take
Entertaining.
Riley for the moon for me. For the moon. What it makes me wonder what like Inside Out would be like for like certain people in history.
Napoleon.
No, but yeah, they're all short little guys. Even though he wasn't short. It's like
Right, he's a
it's not
short
bad rap.
nowadays.
He's like 5'8", which is like the average height for French men. But people are like, he was
That's how
short.
tall I am.
On Napoleon's Tinder profile, it says 5'8", and all the girls are like, "Whoa, you're too short, bro."
So yeah.
Anybody else have anything to say about the episode The Washouts?
I enjoyed it.
It's a good episode as far as like, I don't know. Again, showing that Rainbow Dash is not the craziest, as we think she is, which actually has some. Like, well, hold on a second. I think what part I did not like really was when Spitfire did her little shtick about like.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, yeah.
I'm like, what the
It
hell
was
are you on
dumb.
about?
It was dumb.
Right, yeah. That was really
weird.
stupid. This episode does, I don't know, I just have this feeling, you can disagree with me if you feel like it, but I just like really do feel like out of the 6, I feel like Rainbow Dash would be the best mother. I don't know, like it's just,
What?
I agree.
Rainbow
I
Dash
do.
I definitely
Yeah.
agree. There's
would be
no
the
doubt.
best mom?
Yeah,
Yeah.
No, no,
100%.
No Fluttershy and Applejack.
Fluttershy would especially like
Oh,
never
Applejack
discipline
would be
her
like
child
that
correctly.
overprotective,
Uh,
overzealous parent.
yeah.
Rainbow
She's
Dash
already
would
like
care
that
about
with
her child.
Remember that you're getting killed.
I feel like Rainbow Dash would like push her child to be the best.
Club for me. I'm Rainbow Dash. My butt's small.
I eavesdrop every day.
Wait, what
No,
about
no,
her butt?
we're gonna hone in on that. Why is her butt small?
Because she's got a small ego. Wait, what the fuck am I talking
Thank
about?
you, thank you, Saber.
You are just like
Oh my god.
failing at this.
All right, we'll come back to this actually after this next episode.
Okay, all right, we'll
All
come
right.
back. We'll come back.
So the next episode
Underpaid.
is a Rockhoof in a hard place. When Rockhoof, one of the pillars of old Equestria, has troubles fitting in with the modern world, Twilight Sparkle and her friends try to help him find a new purpose.
Poor Thor.
Yeah. I very much enjoy Rockhoof. He's a good character. I enjoy him.
Mm-hmm.
He's very larger than life, but he's also like very kind and gentle, and he can be a little overzealous, but like it's so good. I enjoyed this episode, but there were some bits that made me laugh, like when the school is quote unquote on fire. And everybody's like not freaking out, even though any sane person will look at that and be like, holy shit, the school's on fire.
Yeah,
and it's
it
yeah,
really
you
looked
fucking
like the
idiot.
school's
They were
on
just,
fire.
they just do that all the time indoors. They just do fire breathing contests. It's just, idiot. I'm just like, what?
I like how, like, if I recall, he had his like Hercules moments of like destroying things.
Yeah.
And then Twilight's like, well, why don't we put you in a classroom? And then everything gets destroyed.
Like, why? Right? Like,
And
it's
then,
so dumb.
and then she's like, wow, maybe you shouldn't do the one thing we actually just put you in this room to do. And I'm like, okay, Twilight, what do you want? Field trips.
Before, like, I guess the first time we watched the episode, like the entire time, I was like, why doesn't Applejack just give him a job at the apple farm? Like, just kick trees.
That's Big Mac's job.
It's so obvious.
Race mentioned, because, like, I think he just shouted out, why doesn't he become a fireman?
Yeah.
Like, oh, you know what? Actually, yeah.
I thought that was the foreshadowing. I thought he was going to become a fireman.
No, he just tells stories.
Or a fire horse, whatever.
But he does it outside because he can't do it in a classroom.
I thought that's where it was going. I'm like, perfect. And they're like, no, not him. They don't need fire ponies because dragons. Duh. Are people still debating if Smolder's a guy or a girl?
No.
Okay.
They refer to her as a girl in the season, I assume.
Yeah.
That has happened
Yeah.
already.
Yeah, she's
No, I think
definitely.
it's already, yeah.
No, I was
I
just
think that's been
wondering.
resolved.
Yeah, because there was still, like, a while ago, there was still some debate, to which I was surprised there was debate. I'm like, oh, I thought it was clear.
Oh my god. Quiet Storm in the chat just said, poor bulk biceps though. That part made me laugh so hard when I first watched this episode.
When he
Just
did his
like
scream.
the squeal. Now let me know if this is too much pressure. I'm not gonna do the scream because it's gonna kill me.
You know, just describing the scene the way you did, and then saying the line out loud, some people would be convinced that something completely different is making him squeal. Let me know if there's too much pressure. Oh! Yep. So, did you guys enjoy this episode?
Yes.
I love this episode. It is
Yeah.
in my top 10 pony episodes.
Nice.
Definitely.
It was a
It
good
was-
one.
it was-
Maybe my top 5.
That was a very mature topic that they addressed.
Yes.
And this has been a good season. Like it had a little bit of a dip around the mid episodes, but like it's bounced back and it's been very good. It's been a good season. I like it.
Yeah.
There's just I had to dip out for like most of this conversation, but there's that one part. It's so simple, but it like made me crack up. I hope you haven't discussed it already, but it's just at the end when Twilight's like, "I hereby dub you
Oh,
like
yeah,
Keeper of Tales," and I forget who's with her, but she's like,
Oh, yeah,
"Can
so,
you
like,
do that?" Yeah, Spike was like, "Can you do that?" She was like, "Eh."
Oh my god! That reminds me of another scene I loved in this episode, is where, like, Spike walks in as the substitute teacher, and they're like,
Yeah.
like, is
It's
everything
like-
alright or whatever? And he's just like, eh. So, anyways, he's just de-gaffing. Like,
Twilight's gotta, like, put your other teacher in a stone sleep. What?
she's gonna kill him?
Just-
Yeah, I guess.
Like,
Whatever.
didn't care. It was just...
He couldn't have cared less.
It was
Like,
very interesting to me that Twilight, like, decided to, like, concede, and she's like, only because it's temporary. And I'm like, Twilight.
I'll just freeze you until I can actually solve your friendship problem.
Yeah.
All right.
It's like fucking Master Chief at the end of Halo.
Is it?
I think we cut out. Sorry, it's like Master Chief at the end of Halo. With how he like.
You didn't cut out.
Yeah.
Nobody got it.
It was like Master Chief at the end of Halo 3.
Oh, by the way, I played Doom recently. It's
Rocco in a hard place.
what about it?
I love it so much.
It's good. It's good. Lauren's keep talking about Rock Place and a Hard Hoof. So
You're so eager to change the topic, Saber.
Yeah, you guys want to talk about it?
I'm not eager to change the
I
topic.
just- I
I'm
just-
eager
I just
to
love
talk
how
about
se-
things I want to talk about.
I just love how serious, like, Spike's the serious stuff. I love it so much.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
so
we don't
Yona's the
have
best-
homework also, and he's like, yeah, alright.
I didn't think I'd like Yona at first, but she's been pretty fantastic.
I love her to death.
Mhm.
Yep.
I liked her in Final Fantasy X.
Yep.
Yep.
Me too.
I haven't got that far yet.
Kingdom Hearts. Yep.
Mhm.
Here's a spoiler. There's a girl named Yuna in Final Fantasy X,
God.
and
how-
Yuna sounds okay.
I still crack up when Saber and I did a Who's Line. I think it was at BabsCon, and he had to be like the dad or whatever of Yona, and neither of us, at least, played it off. But I genuinely didn't actually remember the name of Yona, and so we just made up all these names for her and fruits. Yolanda, Yona. Yeah. Yep. It was fun.
Yep.
Good up.
Good deal. Alright, so is that it?
All
Is
right.
that all we wanted to say about the pony episodes
like-
before I...
I like the scene where Yona talks Rockhoof down from suicide.
Yeah,
But that's just me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was excellent.
No one said it yet, so I wanted to say it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! There was an allegory for suicide.
What?
Yeah.
You didn't notice that, Sarah?
What are you talking about? You're the one that's acting
I'm tired, okay? I watched this episode tired. I didn't even think about that. Wow. Let's talk about this episode again. I'm ready now. No, that's intense.
Yeah.
Literally, I've been going like, yeah, it was a pretty serious topic, but I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
damn. Well,
I
I'm
can't tell
slow.
if you're serious.
Unfortunately, this is one of those moments where I'm serious.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think about it. Like, it just didn't. I went into it so happy-go-lucky and came out the same way and didn't even think like, oh.
Yeah.
It's the assisted suicide episode.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's heavy.
Sarah, I can't watch
I love
this.
it.
I can't watch this show anymore
Okay.
because it's too smart for me. I'm
Yeah.
missing all the stuff.
This rectangular pizza, why?
Wait, what about it?
You've come full circle.
For
I
rectangle.
got home so I can see it now.
The rectangle pizza.
It's so bad.
Is it in the chat? Oh yeah, it is.
Oh my god. Someone actually posted a picture of it. I'm going to throw up.
Yeah.
Hey there, why? Literally
Okay,
the worst
so-
creation.
Let's move on to some other topics.
All right. So we're no longer spoilers, right?
Yeah.
We're out of spoiler
We're
territory.
out of spoiler time.
All right, now we need to put up.
Wait, so who's the best mother?
Wait, what?
Okay, so
Who would make the best?
so
mother?
who would be the
I
best?
still think
mother?
it's Rainbow Dash.
Oh.
I think she would push her child to be awesome.
You know
but
who might
still-
actually be the best mother of
Mhm.
of the group, if she's allowed to be counted in, might actually be Starlight.
You're
Yeah,
so right. Yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't count it because she's
She would
not
be the best mother, but she
sixth.
would never want kids.
Right. You're so right.
Starlight's not one kids.
Twilight would suck at it. I gotta. I think honestly. She
Yeah,
would,
look how
leak
Spike
out
turned
before-
out.
Spike, yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
Applejack would just smother her.
Be too hot on her.
Yeah.
Applejack be a great mom. Fluttershy would be a good mom.
I don't think Applejack would be a good mom. I think she would be way too overprotective.
Fluttershy would
Obnoxious.
struggle with the rebellious phase, I think.
Right. Yes. Exactly.
No, she wouldn't. No, she wouldn't. She put her foot down. Fucking continuity, guys. Come on.
Maybe, like in the series,
Yeah,
where she's like,
she'll
"Applejack!"
she'll put her foot down. I don't get that. Like,
What?
hoof. Imagine Fluttershy with big old toes.
That was the most shut up hero like word you have ever said in your life.
Rainbow Dash would be an awful mom. Rarity probably wouldn't be that great because she's married to her job.
Why
There's
would
another way.
Pinkie
Pie would be
Yeah,
awful.
I vote for Fluttershy as best mom.
no wait? Why wouldn't Rainbow Dash make a good mom, Saber?
Because she wouldn't care about the kids. She'd be like, all right, kids, so where's my Mother's Day gift?
Yeah.
It's not good enough. Make another one.
I feel like she'd be exactly
Awesome,
like her
I
parents
am.
were.
Yeah, like Rainbow Dash would probably lay her eggs on the beach and forget about her kids.
Lay her eggs?
No. Let's remember for a second here.
Ponies are mammals.
Think about how Rainbow Dash
Unless
is.
the Pegasi lay eggs.
No.
Because they're half bird.
I think it's basing that off of the Fantasia sequence with the
If Twitter let you have 6 choices for a poll, I would say, hey, post this poll. But well, only 4. Dang.
No. I'm the actual reason I would vouch for Rainbow Dash as a good mother would be her the same reason why she makes a good pet owner.
I thought you were gonna say just pet. Like I wasn't ready for that.
Why she makes a good pet.
No, this is so dumb. This is it's almost as absurd as a fox and a rabbit having a child.
Okay.
It will.
Next
Premeditated
topic.
thing.
You're
Yeah, the
doing
premeditated sins and,
Wow.
and
All right.
abortions.
Thinking Arby's.
Sarah,
All right.
what's up?
Okay.
She
so
takes good
next-
care of the
no,
turtle,
okay,
Sarah.
So next topic is
Target.
the new Mary Poppins trailer. Has anybody seen that?
Yeah.
Don't.
It's
Wait, hold on. Give me a second to
Okay.
scoot.
Scoot.
Hang on. Hang on.
Wait. Everyone, wait.
Is she gone?
well, they disconnected.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Oh, Saber's not gonna be around.
But Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins.
Barry Moppins.
So yeah, there was a new trailer released, and I'm happy to see that they're doing traditional animated scenes.
By the way,
Yeah, that's what I was wondering with
spoilers.
this. I was like, are they going to do 2D? Are they going to do 2D?
Yeah.
It'll
So
be the first time since 2011 they've had it in theaters.
Everybody probably heard that. I don't know.
so here's what I'm saying.
I'm
Is-
sorry.
Here's what I'm saying. Is Mary Poppins, okay? Is weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
Lin-Manuel Miranda actually does a decent accent. The whatever British English accent.
I don't feel like this is super big spoilery, but I do want to point this out that I think it's odd that they decided. So you guys have seen the trailer, right?
I have, yeah.
Do you find it odd that what is the brother and sister's name? Michael.
Michael and Jane.
Do you find it odd that Michael and Jane got married and had
Oh,
kids?
stop.
What's
They didn't- If you paid attention to the trailer, Michael was married to someone and then they died.
No. See, no. All he
And
says
then he
is
moved in with his sister.
it's so sad when your mother, or something, and then but
Everything's
it's
fallen apart since your mother.
since your mother was found out to be your dad's sister.
No, stop it.
It's- because I was really confused when I'm like, well, it's clear that these are the kids, and then I'm like, oh my, wait a minute, why do they have children? and they live together. Like I was worried.
No, Michael is the one with the children, and Jane is the aunt of the children. They just live together because Michael is in hard times.
Sarah, as we'll find out in another topic later on, you can't live together without being together.
Jesus. Okay. Okay. So I wonder if Laura and Saber would also want to duck out for this, but Captain Marvel.
I know nothing about Captain Marvel.
Has anybody watched that trailer here?
No.
I've watched it.
I've seen it. She punched an old lady.
Yeah.
What is going on?
Yeah, there's like a very small clip in which Captain Marvel punches an old lady, and I'm sure it's like a spy or whatever, but like it's still very funny out of context because there's zero context.
Out of context.
So we got a superhero.
I can't wait to see that in the theater, like
Yeah.
that trailer.
Punch an old lady.
To see what people react to.
Yeah, I mean Captain Marvel looks interesting, and I'm glad to see Phil Coulson back in movies.
Brie Larson was in it after her Oscar-nominated movie Kong Skull Island.
Huh?
Brie Larson is also I know her from something else, like as a voice, not as a.
From the
is
amazing.
She the voice of Unikitty in the Lego movie?
I don't know.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, Captain Marvel. Okay, so I think that's it for like the trailer stuff.
Okay, so how do we tell them to come back?
That's somebody else, I think.
Can you maybe alert Saber and Laura to come back?
Get them back. Something.
Oh no, that's where I've seen her in. She was in that movie Room.
Do.
Alright, I just messaged them so they should come back soon.
Soon.
I feel like I'm getting progressively more stuffed up sounding as the podcast
I went
goes.
the other way. I started out bad. By the way, did you tell everyone how you got sick?
Yeah. I told them that you gave it to me because you got sick. And then I got 5 times more sick.
I love you.
Yeah,
So I gave you. Sick.
No.
Hey!
Oh.
So yeah, we talked
Hello.
about Mary Poppins, and we
Well,
also
spoilers, now they know the movie's coming out.
Shit! They already know it's coming.
Damn
All
it.
right. Another thing that I wrote down to talk about is the live-action Avatar series, as an Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Directed by M. Night Shyamalan.
No. It's actually, like, is it directed, or do they just have like a hand in it? The original creators of the series. The
I don't
animated
know.
At least it's something.
Yeah, I mean, I think as far as we know that they have some part in it, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, why does this need to happen? Because
It doesn't.
I feel
It's just money.
like it's already
We've got to have it.
in the best medium that I feel like it could have been put in.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All I gotta say is,
You know what's funny is that I started watching The Dragon Prince and I was like, this would actually be better in live action.
Oh no.
Mainly because the animation is shit.
It hurts my eyes to watch that stuff.
It's really rough, which is frustrating because like the story is pretty interesting. I'm interested.
Saber's really racking up some likes and retweets on the Twitter lately.
For what?
I don't know. Just every time I see you post something, I'm like, oh, that has 14,000 likes.
Oh yeah. All you gotta do is clip somebody else's work and steal it for yourself.
Do you know anyone
Simple.
that would do
Yeah,
that?
somebody's got mad at Saber.
Oh yeah, this was hilarious.
What did you do?
I didn't do anything wrong. I'm great. But what happened is there is that tweet from the official, I guess, Nickelodeon, where they're like returning to Netflix or whatever, or was it Netflix? Whatever. The entire live action Avatar being announced, and some girl replied with the meme template of Mr. Incredible going, "Not again. I'm not strong enough."
Yeah, I posted that also, but I didn't realize anybody else did it.
A lot of people did it.
Almost like a meme.
Well, she got like 2,000 likes on it, and like an hour later, I was just sitting on my computer being distracted from doing work, and I figured, I'll put the Nickelodeon or the Avatar like vector over like Miss Incredible, with Mr. Incredible saying, "No, not again, I'm not strong enough."
Yeah.
So I did that, and it did really well. And she replied being like, "Wow, people are already stealing my content," and I'm like, "Content? Like,
Memes are content now?
Do you own The Incredibles?
yeah, do you own this meme? Is this your brilliant
Yes,
idea?"
I am James T. Pixar.
Well, she was begging for like money also via like PayPal and Venmo. She's like, "Hey, if you like my jokes, please give me money." And I'm like, "God, you are just embarrassing."
Walt Disney's like, people are stealing my content. That's how he talks, by the way.
I love Walt Disney's voice. He's like, "I'm Walt Disney, and welcome to Epcot."
You sounded like Sean Connery there.
This is the center of it all. Epcot.
What if it
I'm
was
old
same
and I'm
person?
dead.
Speaking of childhood and the amazing things of childhood, and like I mentioned, as displayed in other things, that if you live together, it's a clear indicator of other things.
Mm-hmm.
The Sesame Street this week has been trending.
Stuff is so dumb.
Yeah.
As everyone wants to know if Bert and Ernie are banging.
I always thought they were a couple.
They're brothers.
My whole
I
life
actually
they
just
were a couple.
always assumed they were a couple as well.
Yeah, my whole life I just assumed like, oh, they're a couple. It's fine, whatever.
I think what gets me about this is that like I knew they were brothers, but like this isn't the first time that joke's been made. Because I remember back in like early Family Guy, they made fun of Bert and Ernie. You know, Ernie, I told you to take, you know, or whatever which one's the short one? Is it Bert?
Ernie.
Whatever.
But I want to make it clear that they are
and Bort.
100% not brothers, though. They're just.
What's that?
They're not brothers.
I thought they were brothers.
No, they're not brothers. They're roommates. They're friends.
They're cousins.
No, they're roommates and they're not related in any way. They're roommates and they're friends.
Yeah, the other thing of somebody else. Whatever. Basically, Frank Oz, the creator, came out saying like they're just good friends because some other writer on the show is like Bert and Ernie are gay. And I guess what gets me is there's a big old debate over this, and it's like, so because I've been considering doing a video about like LGBT representation in animation, because like there's nothing wrong with having that. It's good, you know, especially with like nowadays, because now like it's becoming, because if you present this properly to kids, they accept it more as just, oh, that's just normal. That's good. Normalize it. But at the same time, you got people picking these weird like hills to die on, like for Bert and Ernie, and it's like, really? Like you're gonna die here fighting for this? Versus maybe Sesame Street should just introduce a gay couple and then let them go off with that.
I feel like Sesame Street has talked about.
Didn't they do a thing about like having two dads or something? Maybe that was something else.
They had one with that kid who's autistic, and they had one with the kid whose father's in jail. And it's like, just do another one. You know, roll out a gay couple and make it good writing, and maybe you'll win an Emmy.
Well, according to this art that Sarah has just pulled up.
No, stop it. I looked up Sesame Street on homosexuality, and like, of course, the only articles that are showing up are the Bert and Ernie things. Let's see. Maybe they haven't, but like, I feel like it's probably been in passing, something like that.
I think part of the issue is that everyone's just like demanding, like, hey, well, not everyone, but like people are like, we need like full, I guess, disclosure from the creators. You need to tell us.
Yeah, someone asked a writer who used to work on the show, and he said, you know, that's how I wrote them. And then, you know, we have right after that, Sesame Street's like, no, they're just friends, they're just roommates. And then we have Frank Oz, you know, saying the same thing. It's just, it's weird. It's just a weird situation.
I don't even know if the writer meant, like, because reading the quote from the writer, it kind of seemed like he's like, well, I mean, that's how I wrote them because I didn't have any other context to think of what it, like. It's weird that you have like the writer and then like the guy's like, I literally created this character, I can tell you.
Yeah, I don't know, it's like it's a weird situation, and like I see both sides of it, in which, you know, there's one side being like, well, you know, it would be good for if they were gay because representation is tough, and then there's the other side of it where it's like, well, you know, they were originally created to illustrate to children that even though two people can be very, very different. They can still be friends. And,
Well, there was Sesame Street's been no stranger to addressing like serious topics,
Yeah.
like when Mr. Cooper died, or
where Big Bird didn't like
homelessness with
understand
Oscar the Grouch, like
Yeah.
or the bird flu disease with Big Bird. Like that was a interesting episode.
Are you talking about the robot chickens?
Well, like I mean, and even look, like why is he talking?
Whoops.
Why?
Sorry, there was a video that started playing. Bert's.
So is that Bert? Bert's
that's
the one who's mad?
Yeah.
All the time?
Yeah, Bert's the grumpy one.
Bert hates his life. He's just like, why? You know...
All right, here's
they're not brothers?
Saltzman's. They're not brothers. Okay, here's Saltzman's, statement. I always felt that without a huge agenda, I was writing Bert and Ernie. They were gay. Mark Saltzman, who worked for the preschooler program for 15 years, told Queerty in an interview, I didn't have any other way to contextualize them. And
See,
so
that's what
he
line,
said. And
that
then,
line,
like,
I didn't have any other way to contextualize them. Like, does that just mean he was like, well, I mean, that was the basis I had for writing two guys living together?
I don't know.
Contextual. I'm just curious what that part means. What? Explain, Mr. Salt.
Saltzman added that he was already with his now late partner of 20 years, Arnie, at the time he started with the show in 1984.
He's
so I
projecting.
Quote, so I didn't think I'd know how else to write them, but as a loving couple.
He's going
unquote.
to turn all the young children that watch Sesame Street gay.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
That's how you see what you hear this? No, but like that's what I feel like is kind of being said is, well, I wrote them as a couple because like how else am I gonna write two guys living together? That's the impression I'm getting, but it doesn't also like mean that they're
like
gay.
I think it's more like him taking his experience with his partner and using that because he's also
they
said
have a
something
very
else about their relationship and like how it relates to Bert and Ernie.
I'd worry about my relationship if it related to Bert and Ernie.
No, they're very nice to each other. Like they get grumpy. Like Bert gets grumpy with Ernie, but like they're still good friends. They're very good to each other.
Yeah. How good, Sarah?
Stop it, God.
I just want to know.
Stop it.
So they're best friends.
Yes.
Well, that's good.
That is what Frank Oz,
Saber,
and Sesame Street say.
We should move in together.
Stop reading my fan fiction. Oh my god.
Just to save money.
I'll think about it. All right.
Let me
Does
know.
that mean that or actually, never mind. What's the next topic?
What's the next topic, Sarah? Before we get in trouble.
I don't have any more topics, so if anybody else wants to bring up anything, feel free.
Venom is PG-13.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You already tell
No, I haven't told that story.
Oh, okay. Venom is PG-13. Is that unexpected?
Yes.
People are like,
I
this
feel
could have
like-
gone hard. It looked like it was pretty violent in the original trailer.
We've
It's
already
like,
had like 3 R-rated superhero movies in the past 2 years. Like, why can't this one be R?
Didn't
this is strictly
Yeah.
a money thing for them, which is the part that sucks the most.
Frustrating.
Yeah, they're trying to open it up to a bigger audience, basically.
Just make it G at this point, you know.
Just pans it out.
I'm Venom, gosh darn it.
Instead of the
I'm
sharp
Venom.
teeth, he's just smiling really
Excuse
big.
me, it's We Are Venom.
We are
You're right.
Venom.
We are Groot. Speaking of movie ratings, by the way, Sarah had an interesting encounter yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So we were in front of the movie theater. He was getting tickets to a movie that I had no interest in. He was getting tickets for a later showing that he was going to go see with his
Oh,
dad.
I have a story to follow this up.
Okay.
Now my memory's coming back.
But yeah, so I was sitting off to the side while he was in line. And all of a sudden these two kids, they had to be like 15 or 16, somewhere around that. They come up to me, and the guy, he gets there first, and he's like, "Hey, are you busy?" And I kind of look around, and I'm like, I'm just sitting there doing nothing except like
You got some weed?
being on my phone, and I'm like, "No." and so he pleads with me to help them buy tickets to Predator, to buy them tickets to go see Predator together.
That's dumb.
And I was just like, and it's the most awkward moment in the world where I'm just like, I really don't want these, like, I felt my soul leaving my body because I'm just like, I want to be left alone. Why does this happen to me?
That's wonderful. What'd you do?
So like, at first I asked the kid, I'm like, how would this work? And he responds with, oh, you just, pretend to be my aunt and buy us the tickets. And I'm like,
Sarah, you've been arrested for this.
Sorry, but no. So I turned him down, and he was like, oh, dang. But they got in line anyways, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure they probably got in.
No,
like,
they do card at the theater.
They do card, because he's like, oh, yeah, I don't have my ID. I'm like, yeah, right, you're not old enough. You have your ID, but you're just not old enough.
Can I share a similar story?
Yeah.
We were actually talking about this in our Discord a few nights ago. It was circa New Year's of 2018. So it was when Hero and Jax and Paleo were visiting for New Year's, and we went to that trampoline park, and there was a little dodgeball, and there were some kids in there throwing balls around, and we're like, well, can we get into the next game? And they're like, sure. So when the time came, this kid screams out, all right, kids versus parents.
Like my soul disintegrated.
And it's like, I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark.
Your parents?
Like,
yeah, parents.
This is how I told it to Sarah, but it was like legit all 5 of us just like for 3 seconds just analyzed our entire life. Just like,
and then our next thought was, all right, everybody, aim for that kid. Go for the face. Take the shot.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, that was a bit of a oh shit moment.
So
yeah, kids. I was like, as soon as he said kids, I'm like, okay, it's us. Parents. Oh no.
You're looking around like, well, wait, what team are you?
Yeah.
Like, y'all don't look old enough to be parents. What is that about?
So I have a rant in regards to movie theaters. Now I know like Paleo, you go to the movies a lot. Saber, Laura, you guys, we all go to the movies. So last night I decided to treat myself. And because for the first time in 3 months, my Movie Pass had a movie available that I cared to see on a time that I could see it. So, I'm one of the idiots that sells Movie Pass. So, I decided to see The Meg. Okay? And it's about a shark that's bigger than a dolphin. All right.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty
Holy
crazy.
shit.
Yeah, it's
That's
a big shark.
So, now Paleo, you saw this movie, right?
Yeah, I saw it with Saber and Laura when I went to visit.
Oh, okay. So
Oh, the Meg. Oh.
Yes. With the shark. So when I purchased my ticket, Megalodon. My theater just recently started doing reserve seating, which I'm kind of like, okay, fine. I don't know, like, I'm sure I'm gonna end up liking it more than not liking it, but right now I was like, and so I sit down and I'm the only one in the theater, and I'm like, sweet, all right, the movie's about to begin. It's just me, and I'm like, this is gonna be great. Yeah. And the movie was just getting through credits, and all of a sudden, in walks this group of 4. Yeah. Okay? You have these 2 older ladies with 2 children that couldn't have been older than 6. And I'm like, not the crowd I expected to see at this kind of movie. Okay. So they sit down, and of course, the 2 kids are like running all over the theater. And I guess I didn't count as being an audience member, so the parents said, well, why would we give a shit about anyone else in the theater? So go ahead, kids, just run around, because we don't abide by any rules or give a crap. And I'm like, well, this kind of sucks, but whatever. Yeah. And then, so now we're about 5 minutes into the movie, and in walks another group of 4. Once again, 2 adults of larger size. This is important. And 2 children. Again, maybe we got up to like 7 and 8 this time. And I'm like, well, this is odd. And they know the group that just came in, as I could tell, because they were saying stuff to each other in Spanish. And they were just like, hey, ole, and doing their thing, to which I'm like, there's a fucking movie playing right now, guys. Like, can we just shut up, please?
So frustrating.
To which, I kid you not, 5 more minutes into the movie, and in comes the last of their group, another group of 4, and this time it's these, like, 2 oversized gentlemen that walk in, again with kids. I have kids running all over the theater, not giving a crap, don't care, because why would they? This is totally not the type of movie that they're going to care about. And no joke, these people are sitting down in their lower row, not even sitting down, some of them are standing up, and they are talking like they're at a party, and there's a movie in the background. And they're just going on, like, socializing during this movie. And I was beside myself. I'm like, okay, I get, like, the occasional, like, oh, I accidentally turned on my phone and shined light in your eyes kind of annoyance. But I'm like, this is next level. Like, I was like, I don't even know. And the problem is, in these kind of scenarios, I'm a little bit too, I hold back a little bit too much to speak up. Yeah. Because I've seen enough times where people that do speak up end up regretting it for the rest of the movie, because then people either become bigger dicks or, I don't know. I've read stories, I'm like, whatever. Yeah. Maybe they'll shut up eventually. Well, surprise, they eventually did, after about 10 minutes of their fiesta, ole. And then some of their kids, tell me, what's the logic in this? The kids in their group, they're like, hey, you remember that cool light-up toy we got you at Disneyland? Bring that to the movies. Okay. And they're shining these, like, flashing lights, and I'm just like, this is like the worst movie experience I've ever had, and I should have been the only person in this goddamn theater. So, yeah, end of story. These, I couldn't believe that of all movies, The Meg was the one this had to happen to. I was one of the most anticipated movies of the year.
Yeah.
It's a gosh darn Megalodon.
Have you guys had any bad movie theater experiences?
Paleo has.
Paleo is one.
Yeah. Speaking of, like, somebody, like, speaking up, as far as, like, having to have somebody quiet down, it actually happened to me when I went to go see Tomb Raider earlier this year, where, like, this woman, like, kept, like, talking during the movie, and there was this one guy that was near her that said, could you be quiet? And then she shut up for the rest of the movie. Yeah. It was great.
Could you be quiet is the most, like, passive aggressive way.
Yeah. I've been
like,
shushed.
Shut up. It's just
Laura and I were at went to go see My Little Pony in theaters, and there was this kid sitting behind us with her mom, and the little girl was singing along with the songs, even though she didn't know the songs at all. So she's just like, awesome.
It was the, like, early showing. It was on Thursday, like, before the movie, like, officially came out on the Friday.
You had to move seat.
And we had to get up and move, because it's like, kid, there's no possible way that you know these songs. You're talking to your mom throughout the whole movie, and you just...
And this is the kind of thing where if you address it, they'll probably be like, excuse me, this is a movie for kids, which apparently gives them special rules to do whatever the hell they want.
They're not going to remember it.
Yeah, right?
No, this girl was like 9 or something, so it's like, yo, you're old enough to know better.
Well, if you think
more yet, your parents should be better at keeping their kids quiet.
Yeah.
If I had a kid, I would slap him. Slap him with a fist.
Age
Drop
doesn't
him out of an
matter
airplane.
when, like, somebody's talking to you in the movie, because, like, I had this one woman with her kids, like, and she kept asking me questions throughout the entire movie.
That's the worst.
What?
Yeah, it was when I went to go see Goosebumps a few years ago.
Well, that was a hard one to follow, obviously.
Is this Poos Gumps?
Sounds gross. Ew.
I remember going into a movie theater with a can of beans, and I was berated
Well,
afterwards.
shut up.
Yeah, were you?
No, I'm just joking.
There was
Well, let us not forget. Let us not forget the experience that a different mother and daughter had when they went to see the My Little Pony movie, and all the bronies, while ejaculating everywhere, couldn't stop yelling, "Applejack!"
Oh, that was a good one. People who take that review as factual. Oh my god, I can't believe it.
Oh my god, I can't believe you.
What were you gonna bring up?
The thing I was gonna bring up, kind of along the same line of like people being kind of shitty at theaters, but this is sort of like a weird, different scenario. It was when I like saw Paranorman in theaters, like I think I saw that movie like 3 times in theaters, and the last 2 times that I saw that movie, everybody left like 15 minutes before the movie ended. I don't know if it was the part where like so I guess Norman spoilers FYI. So there's the confrontation with him and Aggie, and that gets resolved, and like the screen fades to white and it stays white for a good little bit, but then it continues because it's all resolved, and like the 2 characters are talking it out and all that stuff. And like as soon as the first time this happened, a kid made a joke like, "Oh, movie's over," and then literally like half of the theater starts filing out while the movie is still playing. Like the characters are very obviously still talking, and there's things happening on the screen, and I'm just like, the movie's not over. I literally said that. Like I said it out loud. I'm like, it's not over. Just so y'all know. It was weird because it happened to me twice. It happened that time when the kid made the joke, and then it happened again, like, without anybody saying anything. And I'm just like, guys.
Didn't we see Paranorman in Seattle when we went to Everfree Northwest?
Yes. After Everfree, we saw it in theaters.
That's what I thought. I'm like, I was trying to think of where we saw it, and I'm
Late
like,
at
wait,
night,
there's a throwback.
Yeah.
That's the only way I keep track of what year things were, is what convention was I at? Oh my.
El Pandera says, Paranorman, really dating yourself there. Talk about 9 next. I'm like, they're not that old.
They're not that old.
Yeah.
What?
Like fucking...
Paranorman came out in 2012.
Yeah. Oh man, 5 years old.
I just watched.
I mean, I can remember going to see the Lost World Jurassic Park in 1997.
Yeah.
1997.
I remember seeing the original Wizard of Oz.
The first movie I remember seeing in theaters was The Lion King.
Yeah.
Must be nice to remember being able to see that.
Haven't they shown Lion King in theaters since?
Yes, they have.
Yeah.
You go,
I went
right?
to see it again with Hero.
I went to that, and the people behind, I think I went with my mom, and the people behind us were singing every song the entire time.
Don't do that.
Which is like, then why don't you just watch the movie at home? Like, you don't have to.
Why don't you just watch the movie?
This isn't a sing-along showing.
Right?
Yeah.
Under the
They
sea.
actually have like those.
Yeah. Should we move into Q&A?
Let's do it.
Yeah,
So,
let's
a
do it.
reminder, Sarah.
You think we can wrap up?
What Saberspark?
I was gonna say, do you think we can wrap up maybe in like around 10:40ish?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So a reminder for everybody as we go through the questions, we'll try to get through as many as we can, but if you do submit a question to Super Chat, you are guaranteed to get your question answered, and I'm sure we'll embellish on it too.
Yes.
So, yeah, Super Chat it, or you could send a question to Twitter, and we may get to it.
Yes.
So.
Okay, to start off, we've got Railroad Bronies asking, I went to LA Fair today. Do you think that mankind should deep fry everything that he believes could be edible?
Yes.
It's worth a try. Like,
Sarah, what is your favorite?
Experimentation is very important.
What's your Ooh. What's your favorite deep fried thing to eat?
Nothing, because I can't eat deep fried food.
Deep fried sickness.
Deep fried, gluten-free, deep. Have you guys had? What's the weirdest deep fried food you guys have eaten?
Alligator?
What?
You've had
Alligator?
alligator?
Yeah.
Deep fried.
Was that
that
deep
weird?
fried?
Well,
Grace,
yeah, it's
you
fried.
only eat like chicken nuggets, so
I ate with you that day. We both had the same food.
Y'all both tried alligator that day. That was at.
We had calamari too.
Was that Fiesta?
That was Fiesta Equestria.
Okay, yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah, and we went to what was like oh god, I forget the name of the restaurant. They have it in Georgia as well, but yeah,
It sounds like a
Bojangles.
French place, but
It is. It's a bayou place.
on the bayou. I've had deep fried Oreos.
They're so good.
They are. You can literally feel the years of your life depleting.
Depleting.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's worth it.
Always
Wait,
worth
which
it.
one? Wait, which place?
Deep what? Deep fried Oreos.
Oh, okay. Because when you said you can feel your body like deteriorating, I really thought you were talking about Bojangles. I actually really don't like Bojangles at all. It's like everyone in the South is like, "Oh, babies and Bojangles," just like that. I cannot eat it. I feel like I'm dying.
This biscuit.
Has anybody tried deep fried ice cream?
No.
I've had fried ice cream. It's good.
How does it stay frozen if it's being fried?
I don't know. Magic.
Yeah, this don't make no
Fascinating.
sense. It's
Alchemy.
like isn't there like dry ice cream that they call it astronaut food or something?
Maybe, I
Yeah.
don't know. Let me see. Let me Google it. How they deep.
That's like probably the ultimate thing that could like destroy Sarah, like her kryptonite.
Yeah. It's my ultimate weakness. Let's see.
Kryptonite.
They cover the ice cream with cornflakes, and I guess that insulates it well enough.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That makes no sense.
Yeah,
No.
that makes sense.
No. This
Well,
is
like you only fry it for a little bit.
Chef Ramsay never does this, so I don't believe them.
Okay.
All right.
All right. We've got a question from Anime Guy number 1. This past week, I 100%. He was number 1. Let's see. He says this past week I 100%ed Spider-Man, and I wanted to know what was the first game you 100%ed. Also for those coming to Cider Fest, get ready for more cookies like those from Windy City.
I'm so sad that we're not going to Cider Fest.
Yeah.
I'm so sad. Anime Guy, those cookies were awesome, by the way. I preserved mine literally as long as possible.
Yeah.
As long as I live, I should have petrified it, but they were also delicious. I did eat one of them, and the other one
I still have mine.
Do you still have yours?
Yeah, I never ate it because I didn't want to eat it because it looks so good.
Don't eat it now. Just keep it in the bag. But it is no, those are awesome, and I do wish Cider Fest is a convention that we've been going to for I think since I think Saber went to the first year, and then I followed a year at
Yeah, he
Cider
went by
Fest.
himself.
Yeah, that was interesting because it was like Eileen Monty and Final Draft, and like that was back when it was like around like the conclusion for like Everfree Radio. So I really do love Milwaukee, and I don't know, I get scared that I won't be able to go back, but I truly love Cider Fest. It's a great convention.
Yeah.
Even if we're not going, I still give it my mark of approval. You'd have a good time if you go.
Yeah, but definitely hope to get back.
If you
in
see
that
Charlie
area.
shake him by the throat and go, "Where's Saberspark? And where's ACRacebest? And where are the cheese curds?" Shake Charlie by the neck. It's actually why he's got a giant beard to protect his neck from shaking.
Oh man, that disappoints me now. Like, oh man, we don't get to eat cheese curds.
Sydney was posting cheese curds on her Twitter, and I'm like, the audacity of this broad.
That's not right.
Wow.
Okay, so going back to the question, what's the first game y'all 100%ed?
Cheese curds,
I
Sarah.
Cheese curds
I
are
also 100%ed Spider-Man over the weekend. But,
Is that the first game?
It's not the first one I 100%ed, but I'm
Then why
saying
did you
like
mention it, Paleo?
but because he's mentioned Spider-Man.
Taylor's showing off. Taylor's showing off.
He said that he 100%ed Spider-Man, so I was like, oh yeah, I did that too. Anyway,
Have I ever 100% of the game in my life?
I don't know if I've ever 100% of a game, but probably the closest that I've gotten to it is probably the BioShock series. I could not say those words together. The BioShock series. There we go.
It's Mario 64 for me. All 120 stars.
Nice.
I think the first
on my cousin's N64 because he didn't play it, but I did.
I think the first game I ever beat or 100%ed. Is there a difference between beating and 100% in the game?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
there absolutely is.
Yeah.
100% means there is no more content that you can do that you have not done. You have done all content.
Yeah. Like as in, like
Oh.
you did all the things, like
You've done all the
Okay,
levels, all
okay.
the
For
missions or whatever.
GTA, for example, like you have to do like all the
Okay.
shit that they.
NASCAR Rumble is one of the most fun games ever created. It's basically some kind of version of Mario Kart but with NASCAR cars, where you literally fire twisters out of your car to take out the entire field in front of you, or you can explode your car to flip other cars over. It is so much fun. And this was a PlayStation 1 game, and I still love it. Granted, whenever I go back, it seems like the graphics get worse every time. But
Yeah, that's how it is.
yeah, which is I wish they remastered that game, because it was literally like everything I'd want out of a game like this. Like it was fun. And the only thing, I think there was one thing that I technically didn't ever find, and I'm someone who hated looking up cheats or didn't want to look up anything. I wanted to find everything on my own, and they had hidden these hidden screwdrivers you'd find in each of the maps, and if you find it, you unlock a car. And there was one car I could never find the screwdriver for, ever. And I don't think I ever found it. So I 99%ed a game, and I think that's the closest I ever got to fully completing a game. I was gonna say that the first game I ever beat was Driver.
Oh,
Yeah,
I know that game.
that was fun. I was like,
For
dude.
me, it was truly 100%ing was Kingdom Hearts.
Jesus.
Took a while. Yeah, dude, I was all about Kingdom Hearts when I was young, when it first came out, and I almost beat it as a kid. But then Sephiroth was just kicking my ass, and I couldn't figure out how to beat him. And then I remember returning back to it in college, and it was like after I went to boot camp for World of Warcraft, and I finally figured it out through like game mechanics and like, I don't know, like WoW really taught me how to like react and use certain abilities to like counter off bosses. And I'm like, oh, that's how you not get one shot by Sephiroth. And I'm like, okay, and I beat him, and I was just kind of sitting there. I'm like, my childhood is completed.
I think, man, really, like, it's only not even that long ago. It was like 2013 or something. I guess technically the only game I've ever 100%ed is Monster Hunter for You.
Damn,
Built
dude.
every
Monster Hunter
single-
100% is not easy from what I can tell.
No, it is not. But again, I played. the
Wait,
game
which
for-
Monster Hunter?
Monster Hunter for You. How long ago was that?
Oh, Monster Hunter Tri Ultimate or whatever.
No, for you. For Ultimate.
Oh, for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I built every single weapon and did every single quest. It took a very long time.
How many hours?
It was more than 800. I'd have to go look.
Jesus.
Wow.
So here's a little story. For
I
you.
really like Monster Hunter.
another game that I love is called.
And you tell me don't bother beating RPGs.
It's called
It's like 800 hours of one game.
Test Drive Eve of Destruction. It's a demolition derby game, and they have
Sensing a pattern here.
three different they have three different like series that you can do, but each series you can unlock like let's say 10 cars. All right, this might be exaggerating a little bit, and they had a championship deal at each track, and at the tracks, each they'd have like 17 events, and you could do like 7 races per championship, and I would go and do each full block for a championship in each car, and I wanted to do it with every vehicle in that game, and I lost my paper that had all my check marks to keep track of it, and then I was like, that was fun. but I never. I hate it because I was keeping track real good, and then I never got back to it. Yep, the end. I 100%ed BioShock.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll stop right there.
So Oziel asks, since Adventure Time ending, what's the best and worst series finale of an animated series?
Oh man.
Best and worst. Oh dear. Animated. So no anime. Anime's always cheating, I guess.
Anime is its own subcategory.
The best and worst.
The best.
I'm gonna fuck this up because nothing's like popping out to me. I'm like, oh, because I mean, I think Samurai Jack was one of the most disappointing. Because in hindsight, I'm like, really? That's how we? Okay.
Yeah.
But Gravity Falls was satisfying. I like that.
Yeah, Gravity Falls does come to mind. Like they had a very good send off. It was a very good finale. Action packed.
Can I go ahead and like cast a vote for DuckTales because I know that whenever it does end, it's gonna be fucking phenomenal.
or they'll go the route of other Disney cartoon shows like Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers, and their finale is just gonna be a regular episode, and then the series is just gonna end.
Like I can't wait for next season of DuckTales. Like it's gonna pop the fuck off. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, I'm excited. That show is just blowing my expectations away.
Yeah.
When you say finale, can it be like a season finale, or it have to be a show finale? Probably the latter, right?
Yeah, it probably has to be
Yeah,
a show
since we're talking
finale,
about
but like
Adventure Time.
Season 3, My Little Pony.
I was gonna say season 4. My dude, that thing is still like,
Tyrek?
super sick. Yeah. But
Yeah.
show.
There's also season 2.
Bear in the Big Blue House.
That made you cry.
One final goodbye song.
Goodbye, goodbye, good friends, goodbye.
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 I love that show as a kid.
I strangled myself with my earbuds.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything. So boring.
Fraggle Rock has a good series ender, but nobody.
That reminds me, friggin' dinosaurs.
What? Dinosaurs?
Oh yeah, the one with the giant like
baby,
like antler dinosaurs and the puppets.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
John Goodman
Yeah,
dinosaur.
I used to watch that show, but I don't.
I hated it.
Like,
I hated it. I had nightmares about the damn baby.
Oh. I think we actually answered this before. Actually, now that I think about it, Avatar the LSA.
Yeah. Because
Avatar.
Ozzy also asked it last week on our show.
Can I say something quickly?
Yeah.
So I was watching the Disney Channel, and they're talking about like how at the Hollywood studios, they like back in the 90s, the dinosaurs actually had their own like themed parade at MGM at the time, and it was just bad. It looked bad, and they're just like whatever. I guess because it was a popular thing, they brought it in, and I guess because it's like related to Jim Henson.
Yeah.
But the guy made a good point saying that they should just bring this parade out of nowhere one day and only one day and just parade it down the streets at like Hollywood studios. They would be like, what the fuck is this? What, honey, what Disney movie is this?
Oh boy. Here's an interesting one. Ryan is asking thoughts on Space Jam 2 being official.
Oh fuck.
It's gonna be really interesting. I can't wait to make a video about it.
Sarah, why do you look so upset?
Like it doesn't need it. I don't know.
Are you
Like,
saying that Lebron James doesn't deserve to have his own movie?
There's a better way.
Did you say Lebron?
Lebron James.
I feel like there's a better way to reintroduce Looney Tunes into the world other than.
I mean,
they're
doing like the new shorts.
Yeah, they're doing that. But
I'm
like,
not sure when they're coming out, but
yeah, I just feel like. I mean, I guess. I hope it's good, but I don't have high hopes.
Space Jam 1, man, so many people get mad. I don't even care. Space Jam 1 is like not a good movie.
It's not, and that's like part of the charm of it. I feel like It's fun to watch and make fun of.
Ryan Johnson is going to direct the third one.
I mean, it's just further proof that Judy Hopps is better than Lola. So.
Because she has a personality.
Yes, she does.
Speaking of Lola, you see that one character that they revealed for Spyro?
Spyro? It's so funny because it was right under Saber. Like, Saber's how I found out that Space Jam 2 is coming out. And then I saw right under that the Spyro character. I was like, oh, is that what Lola Bunny looks like? Why is Spyro talking about Lola Bunny?
Wait.
I don't like her.
We're not talking about Allura, right? Or
No.
wait.
I love Allura. She's got a wonderful design.
Yeah, she's cute.
Okay.
Can one of y'all post a picture of the character that y'all are talking about?
Yeah,
Because I'm racking my brain and I can't.
Undertale comes with a book. Holy hell!
Wait, did you say Undertale?
Yeah.
Yeah, I bought Undertale for the Switch.
You bought like the.
Oh, Undertale. For some reason, I was thinking of that other
edition.
game. What was that
The normal
one?
edition comes with a book.
Really? That's interesting.
Lost in the Woods, is that what you're thinking of?
Wait, that is
Damn, that is Lola Bunny.
Lola Bunny.
That is magician Lola Bunny.
It's straight up her, right?
Yeah,
right?
that's her as a D&D wizard.
With a short skirt.
Yeah, here's the original.
She had bigger knockers back then.
She is legitimately a level 45 sorceress. Oh my god! But you can see why I was like, oh,
like how they're updating Spyro. It looks great.
Yeah, I'm excited to play it.
You can see why, like, after I saw Saber say Space Jam 2, I was like, oh, that's Lola. It must be, right?
So we only have a couple minutes left. So for those that suddenly get desperate and say, I want to ask a question. Well, remember, Super Chats is still an option. But we are going to hit up some questions here. Rosie is asking, who is your favorite Marvel actor or actress?
Favorite Marvel actor or actress? Let's see.
Are you thinking about this? Like, I figured
Like,
yours
it's probably
was
Chris
easy.
Evans, but like,
Chris Evans is your dude.
Yeah, he's my dude. Yeah, I'll do that. Chris Evans.
Chris Pratt?
My favorite is the old man that always shows up in the movies.
No, someone's got to say Chris
Stanley.
Hemsworth
Stanley.
Stanley.
Flat Stanley.
Dude, it has been so long since I've read Flat Stanley. Oh my goodness. Jeez.
That's a book?
Yeah.
I feel like we've had this conversation on this show before.
Have we actually? I can't think of it. Tom Hiddleston? He's Loki, right? That guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's grown on me.
No, I lied. Jeremy Renner. He's Hawkeye, yeah?
Hawkeye, yeah.
I know these things because I went to college.
I still like
That sounded like I went to college to learn those things, but no, people just talked about them.
I still really like Robert Downey Jr.'s acting.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I guess I'll say him.
I went to college.
Nora is asking a question. I heard them talking. So is Laura still around? Nope. Okay.
Right now.
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay, she's here.
Steven's boiling
By the
water
way-
and it gets kind of loud.
We'll tell him to stop.
You're Nora's favorite person,
No, he's
by the
making
way.
me tea. I need that tea.
Oh, wow. Laura is Nora's favorite person in the podcast.
Aw, yay. Suck it, everybody else.
Wow. Asking, what's your favorite way to eat chicken?
With my mouth.
It's always a good start.
Probably.
End. It's also a good end.
Yeah. I don't know. What's the question? What's my favorite way to eat chicken? Like fried or grilled or roasted.
Yeah.
Like the different ways you prepare chicken.
Raw.
Water.
Well, my first answer
Chicken
was
tendies,
my
chicken
mouth.
nuggets.
I'm giving her a hard time.
Chicken
The
nuggets.
question was from
Oh,
Sir.
oh. You can get your own tea.
We got a super chat.
Well, wait. We gotta
Yes,
know
do
the
it.
answer first.
Oh, I like fried chicken. Fried chicken's pretty dang good.
Fried chicken.
Yeah.
I like
Go.
buffalo chicken, but it wasn't for me, so I can't answer.
It's too late.
All right, we did get a super chat.
From Quiet Storm,
Quiet
asking,
Storm.
what do you think of the Nick Splat shows on VRV? Verve. I haven't
Yeah, they put a
watched-
bunch of Nickelodeon shows on there.
Yeah.
It's actually I've been considering actually getting Verve to check it out because like it's a pretty good lineup of Nickelodeon shows. Verve is like a streaming site. I've promoted it like 4 times before.
Yeah. I think that's where I watch My Brother and Me. It's on Verve. What movie? I mean, what shows have they? Oh, they got Rocco.
They have
Shit,
Rocco.
Man. They got Rocco's Modern Life. They got
all the
Thornberries.
monsters.
All of that. Legend of the
They don't have
Temple.
Damn.
Damn.
It's easy to list what they don't have.
Angry Beavers.
I need to watch all of these. They have Angry Beavers, All Real Monsters, Cat Dog, Doug.
Wait, do they have all
Keenan and Kel,
the? Are these
Amanda
all the
Show.
episodes?
Afraid of the Dark.
Dude,
Pretty sure.
Kablam!
Kablam!
Kablam was my like adult show when I was a kid, where I felt like I'm an adult because I'm watching Kablam.
Like
with
that
Henry
edgy-
and June.
And Melt Man with the power to melt.
I got confused when I started watching Robot Chicken, and I'm like, this seems so familiar.
I was not aware of this, so thank you, Quiet Storm, for making me aware of this. And now I'm gonna spend all of my time watching cartoons.
Sarah, you should use one of my promo codes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
I'm not even joking. It makes sense if you want to
Yeah.
get some money off, and I can get more money in my pocket.
You get more money on.
Actually, I got paid with a lump sum, so it's not the same.
Yeah. I will. Yeah, everybody watch it through
Just-
Saber's thing.
Yeah,
If you're gonna pick one, you gotta eat it.
help Saber live.
Laura hates me.
I do not hate you. Saber was picking up individual pieces of popcorn from the bowl and then just throwing them back in. I was like, don't just pick it up and throw it back in. If you
Just
pick it
wanna
up,
get-
just eat it.
For inspecting for
Oh
poison.
my god.
You're keeping her safe.
He bought the popcorn, by the way. So if it were poisoned, it would have been poisoned by him.
Whatever. We're having.
Wow.
Next question.
Well, we are at 7:40.
We are at 7:40.
Oh,
do
okay.
we want to do
Do we want to do like one more question?
one
All
more?
right. We'll do one more.
Okay,
We'll do
let's
one
see, let's
more.
Look through our,
We'll do a big one.
Let's see.
We'll do a big, unless there's a super chat that sneaks in here at the last second.
Wait, what was that one up there?
That one worries me.
Yeah. Okay.
Is
All right.
Hirosashii praying?
I'm like, wow, jeez, condenser mics are ridiculous.
We'll just do this one.
No, I'm just like mumbling the freaking not just cartoons, we're Nick song.
I'm just gonna say this name how I think it said. Sato the Jorge is asking if you could change one thing about My Little Pony. What would it be and why?
The addition of additional alicorns. Get them out of here.
Things that you could
You don't like other alicorns? Get rid of them?
Nope. Luna and Celestia only forever.
What about the baby one?
That's
Don't you like the baby one?
Nope. Oh my god.
Especially the baby
Especially
one.
I forgot she's another one. Right.
The
I'd,
baby is the worst one.
It's yes.
It's so bad.
If I could make a change, I would wish that Hasbro would have been cool back in the day, and Lauren could have continued on with the show that she wanted.
Yes, that's the
Right.
best.
Yeah.
Goddamn right.
Whatever the show is right now, as much as I love it, it probably would have been better if they just let Lauren do whatever.
Yep.
If
Yeah.
I could change one thing about My Little Pony,
Judy Hopps.
is I was very excited about a thing, but Sarah, what would you change?
I don't know.
I would change the bad episodes
Yeah.
and make them.
It's a good episode.
Oh, you know what? I would make
That's a
it
good
so
idea.
that Daring Do was never an actual.
Oh,
my god. Yes, you win.
Very good. Very good.
It's such garbage.
But the waifu pillow.
Oh no! Woo!
Yeah, that's a.
Oh, actually, I want to change my
Okay.
answer.
All right.
It's so minuscule. It doesn't matter, but it's like honest and truthful. I want Big Mac and Shirley to be together. Like, what the? I like them together.
Yeah.
I introduced the other one, Sugar Bell. I was like, you alright, but you ain't Shirley. Like, I like Shirley.
If I could change one
There's that
thing.
one line from Cheerily in that one episode with the baby, where it's like, I guess I'll write it again with my mouth.
Shirley is so sassy. She just like doesn't show it that often. I love it.
I think if I could change one thing about My Little Pony, it would be the detail. Like, if you ever look at a real horse and compare it to these horses,
Dad.
there's a lot of stuff that they just don't include that are just part of anatomy.
Like the penis?
Like the penis.
You mean like their long ass horse?
Oh, okay.
Alrighty.
Yes.
Well.
No.
Yeah,
End
you
this show
thought I was gonna say
correctly.
something else.
This is how we're
I
gonna.
was really thinking you were gonna say ears. I was like, wow, so weird.
I mean,
No,
Laura
like
just
they-
kind of
like,
jumped.
Laura's designs really made ponies look cute because they didn't look cute before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
did
that's
just,
like that generation 1 through like 3.
3.5. Don't exclude 3.5.
Yeah. Because seriously, they were not cute before. They're cute now.
10-4.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Man, if I think they look the best in My Little Ponytails. I mean, compared to G4.
Oh
I mean,
yeah.
After
But
G4.
still, they
Oh.
they got big ass mouths.
Yeah. Why are we not watching My Little Ponytails, guys?
Let's do
We
it.
will.
I like unironically really enjoy that
Once
show.
once
It's
G4
hilarious.
ends, that's our next direction.
Like,
with
who's the
Broadway.
asshole of the day? Let's find out on My Little Ponytails.
Well, for that, ladies and gentlemen, I believe we are done. That is a wrap on the Semi Perfect Podcast. Sarah, we're going to be back in 2 weeks.
Yes. Where's the calendar on this?
Stop. No.
Okay.
Just,
Sorry.
oh my gosh.
Another thank you to
October
Quiet
3rd.
Storm for your super chat. We very
Thank
much
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you. We'll be back October. Almost spoopy time.
Yes.
October 3rd
Third.
is when we'll be back. It'll be a Wednesday. It'll be 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Thank you all for joining us live. For those that are watching on delay, thank you. Thank you, of course, to the podcasters for joining us here on the Semi Perfect Podcast. Good night, everybody. I'm tired.
Them ponies.
Bye.
Bye.